actually deeply honored. I'm not just excited, but I am deeply honored to be part of the 2011 Scotiabank Contact Photo Festival and to have our work viewed by Toronto audiences and afar as part of the public installation component of the festival. It is seriously exciting, and whoever said bigger isn't better, they lied. We are very, very thrilled to have our mural outside. I wanted to thank the MOCCA for having this space and having the vision to have our mural there, to Bonnie and to Darcy and to Priscilla for having that vision to somehow translate our work from this size to that size. It's quite amazing to watch the process, which we did over the weekend while the guys put it up in not such nice weather, and everybody walked by saying, "Why are those flowers not here in Toronto?" Our work, which is called Istud, is the mural outside that can be viewed in the MOCCA courtyard. It is a photo from a series that I've been working on for over 15 years called What Isn't There, about Palestinian villages that ceased to exist with the establishment of the State of Israel. My partner, architect Tamira Sawatsky, has joined me in the creation and development of this project in the last several years, as we have traveled back and forth to both Palestine and Israel to work on these photos, along with several films. When art and politics come together, it is often considered controversial, and sometimes great pains are taken by museums, festivals, and curators to avoid political content and controversy. I am happy to say that neither Contact nor MOCCA chose not to avoid what is often a very difficult conversation. Ironically, it seems more so in North America than in Israel itself. Often art and politics are separated, as if they are somehow not the same thing. Clearly, we do not subscribe to this view. I understand our job as artists is to comment visually on the world around us, and that includes difficult political moments. The Middle East is changing. This photo is of a village called Istud, or what is now today the modern port city of Ashdod. When I was a young child, my parents moved to Israel, and I grew up in a landscape that I grew to love and feel great pride for. I learned a particular narrative of the land. The familiar saying then was that Israel was a land without a people for a people without a land. I didn't learn the counter-narrative until I was 19, which is hard to imagine. It would be like learning about Canada through the white settler perspective. Oh, wait a minute, I did learn about Canada through the white settler perspective. But then history gets corrected when the voices of those who have been erased slip back into view and become more and more insistent. I walked through many of these landscapes without knowing that the pile of rocks, the fruit trees, the remains of houses belonged to over 750,000 Palestinians from 418 villages who were all exiled in 1948. And so I started to retrace those well-worn paths and familiar places with the other narrative in mind, and wanted to mark those spaces for what was once there, but is no longer. My friend Fadi Judah, who is an award-winning American Palestinian poet and medical doctor, and they say Jews are overachievers, asked me if I would go to Istud and photograph it. It was his father's village, he told me. I sent him the photo, and this is what he wrote to me. The daisy flock in the photo reminds me of a line from Palestinian poet laureate Mahmoud Darwish that he wrote for his father. As for my words, I don't know what to say. That Israeli poet Yehuda Amichai fought there while my father at 14 walked back alone in the night to collect his school papers because his illiterate mother was not sure what the new schools for refugees would recognize his schooling. While Amichai rested and fatigue rested in his memory for years in order to come alive again in a poem about 3 more exhausting times in his life, it puts poetry to shame. He probably, or at least one would hope, would be ashamed of himself and his poems had he known or even thought of the child my father was that night. I've never believed that photographs could change the world, but I do believe that they allow for conversations to emerge that may not have otherwise. I hope that Contact's choice to highlight our work this way will help begin one of those very conversations. Thank you very much.